So, hello everybody. Well, it's actually good evening as well.
It is.
It's not good morning, it's not good afternoon, it's actually good evening. And we're actually sat here in Cheshire and all it's done is bloody rain. So we thought we'd do a Q&A video because we get a lot of questions and they get repeated quite a lot.
Yeah.
So we're hoping that if we do a Q&A video, anybody with any sort of questions might be answered within this video, aren't we?
Yeah.
So we've written down like the most popular questions, what we get asked probably quite a lot of the time.
Yeah, more than often, yeah. It's
about our full-time life, our full-time journey.
Yeah, there's quite a few things we get asked, and you just think, well, I only answered that last week, so it's...
Yeah.
So we thought if we do this, it might just clear a few things up for a few people, and...
Yes, so one we do get asked quite a bit, and we have mentioned it, is are we going back to Europe? And the answer is yes.
Yes, we are.
At least once this year, but probably twice.
I would think probably twice.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going out again. What?
I always get an itchy nose when camera goes on. It's like,
Yeah.
Are we near end of the clip yet? No, we're not near end of the clip. But yeah.
We're going out just after Easter again, hopefully.
Yes.
All fingers crossed.
Yes, we haven't quite booked it yet, for a few reasons anyway, but we are going out in provisionally booked it to go out in April and a little bit of May, so not the full 90 days.
No, we're just going to have about probably 5 weeks out there.
That back in the head's itching. And then later so we want to go to Holland and Belgium.
Yeah.
Is the plan, because you've got to drive through Belgium to get to Holland. We do like Belgium, so I know what if I say we're just going to Holland, we won't. We will do probably more of Belgium as well. And then later in the year we'd like to go out. We missed the Christmas market.
Yes, we really did miss doing the Christmas markets
Now
last
I've got an
year.
itch on top of my head.
Oh,
Oh
for
my
goodness
God.
sake.
Shall we start again? So yeah,
we want to do
Christmas
Christmas
market.
markets this year, so at least go back to Bruges, I think, for Christmas market, because we do love that place, as you probably know.
We absolutely love Bruges, but we've not done any of the other Christmas markets in Belgium. So
we'd like to do a different array of them, wouldn't we?
The ones in Ghent, the one in Brussels, I think the Brussels is the biggest.
Yeah.
So although Brussels is a huge place, we'd probably not do that one. I'll probably try and stick to the slightly smaller ones like Ghent and go to some other nice places. So yeah, go out for April for about 6 weeks, then later in the year, whether we go out after summer, and then we're not quite sure yet. We don't plan that far ahead. We don't plan anything, to be fair. So
no, but you see, I'd quite like to do over the summer months. I'd quite like to do the south coast, so Devon, Cornwall, that sort of area. That's sort of on my bucket list to do.
Yeah, there's quite a few different places we want to go. I want to go back to Scotland, but it's
can't do it all at once.
Can't do it all at once, and little things like a few problems with the dog at the minute.
Yeah,
he's been better, and then he's got worse again. But we'll explain that in tomorrow's video about the dog. So that's why we're going to book the ferry today, and it's like
we need to hang on now.
We just need to hang on for a few days just to figure some stuff out. So yes, we are going back to Europe, and we're going to go back as much as we can because the park-ups over there.
Oh, life's just so much easier for motorhomes over there.
It's just easier, and if you've never been to Europe, we've done quite a few videos travelling in Europe, and if there's any questions you can drop them down in the comments below.
Yeah, definitely.
About if you're travelling with a dog, what we did for breakdown cover, what we did for insurance, booking ferries, tolls, all that kind of thing. Yeah, we've got a bit of experience with it, so we can help you out with that.
We're not experts, obviously, but we can give you our opinion or our advice.
We should really do a dedicated. I think we'll probably do a dedicated video on travelling to Europe at some stage, and then people can just use our back catalogue if they want to, which they don't have to. Because a lot of people have asked about the pet passport. Really, we should have done one on the pet passport as well. But there's only so many hours in a day.
I know.
And another popular one, which is probably the hardest question to answer, is will we do the van life when we're older? Will we do it for the rest of our lives? What are the plans for the future? Can you continue to do it when you're older? Is it possible? You need a house when you're old. Now my words are starting to go funny.
Older.
It's because I've been yawning all day because of Amy.
I know.
It's all Amy's fault. All Amy's fault. And I can guarantee she's watching this.
And cringing because we said her name.
Probably sat in bed as well because it's that time of night.
Yep.
Yawning.
Yep.
So, I've lost my train of thought now. That's it. Gone.
About doing full-time van life. You don't know, we don't really know what the future holds, but at the minute we've not got plans to go back to bricks and mortar.
We haven't even planned the weekend.
No.
So rest of his life we've got no hope whatsoever.
No.
But I will say about later in life, we don't plan on going back. We plan on probably doing this forever because of financial reasons.
Yeah.
If we went back into a house, we wouldn't have the money. We'd have to
go out and work for 40 hours a week to pay for it.
Because obviously we wouldn't have the content for YouTube if we were just sat in a house. We've seen other YouTube channels what travel and then they go back to a house and there's nothing to video.
No. No. Which is why we've really not done the site wardens thing, isn't it? Because if we sort of went to look into doing the site wardens jobs as we originally wanted to do, we would then not be able to do as much YouTube, if hardly any at all, because you'd be too busy working. Which
will bring us on to another subject in a minute about funding and money and stuff like that. Obviously we get quite a few questions. Some are a little bit personal, like it's like kind of sort of none of their business really, but we want to try and address things. We don't hide anything about money or what we make off of YouTube. I know a lot of YouTubers, they won't want to tell people what they make and all this lot. We show people what we get. We try to be quite honest with it, but later in life, van life,
who knows?
Who knows what the future holds?
Nobody knows.
And quite a few people are getting on board, making us offers of things and coming up with suggestions for things, and
it's amazing, isn't it?
It's the support. I never did realise what came with doing these YouTube videos, and it's the people that are sat behind that lens who we can't see, who support us with messages, encouragement, and different things and
ideas, suggestions.
I never knew that came with it. I don't think all YouTubers get it.
You know.
Well, no. Maybe they do, but the support what comes with it, or what people suggest and want to help with, and it's not just about money donations.
Oh no, not at all.
The other things, it's quite overwhelming. To think that people that watch us and enjoy us that much,
that they want to help us out with day-to-day things, and
and like we've had a couple of park ups now. The one we're in at the minute is by some subscribers who we've never met. But we absolutely clicked with them. We could just chat for like a million hours solid. Well, we did do yesterday. It's just 9 hours. 9 hours talking. Just buff like that. And it's just like. But I think sometimes in life you meet people, and we wouldn't have met these people if it wasn't for YouTube. We would never ever have met them.
Like a few of our friends now, good friends.
Like a few friends you make from it. So later in life, yes, we don't know yet.
Who knows?
Who knows? And probably one of the biggest, most popular questions is what we get on the channel is about Zach.
Yes.
And and Zach and his friends.
And Zach's social life.
Yes.
We do get a few comments that say that we are very cruel parents.
Doing wrong, but anyway, we ignore the negative comments. This is more about the positive vibe.
So Zach has a really, really good friend that he keeps in touch with, a lovely lad who's the same age as him, and he's also homeschooled. Turns out that me and his mum went to school together, but that's... Anyway. He loves meeting up when we go back, when we're back on home turf. The weekend before last, they actually had a day out at the cinema, which they really, really enjoyed. So we do make sure he gets some of his own time with his mate to, just a bit of kids' headspace sort of thing, teenage headspace. And
because where we lived was in a village, most of his friends lived in other villages, so they couldn't walk and see each other. So... he didn't really have any friends he came round with or went out with. Only the occasion where we took him in a vehicle and then he'd hang around with them that way. So it's not like we've taken him away from his friends. He still sees them as much as he did before.
Yeah, he does. So nothing's really changed, has it, with that?
No, that hasn't really changed.
As a lot of people will know, teenagers at the minute, they're all online. So he has his online gaming time, but then we get comments saying, well, he's always on that thing.
Yes.
No, he's not.
As I've tried to describe, try and tell people.
Explain.
When we do a video and it's 30 minutes long, you watch that 30 minutes, right? You watch the 30 minutes what I record and I edit and I put on for you. What you don't see is the other 24 hours.
23 and a half hours,
in between all them in minutes.
Yeah.
So somebody might see Catherine doing something and say, "Oh, Steve's a lazy fucker. He don't do nothing."
Yeah.
But I do.
It's just what we've captured on camera.
It's what we've captured on camera.
Yeah.
So, like with Zach, he's not always playing on that.
No, he's
He
not.
doesn't do schoolwork as much as he should do. We'll admit that.
Yeah.
Won't we? But
he learns a damn sight more out on the road with us.
life skills,
Yeah.
you can't learn them at school,
You can't.
I'm afraid.
You can't.
Some people are sticklers that you've got to have a state
Education.
state education, and you've got to do it and all this lot. Probably you're wrong. I don't think you have to.
No.
There is other ways. They learn a lot off online nowadays.
Oh, they do.
From even just watching videos. I know you think probably a lot of the old school people are like, well, you don't learn that watching videos, but you actually do watch a lot of videos, because a lot of them are quite educational videos these day and age. And
see, Zach likes a lot of like sea life things.
Yeah.
And he'll quite often say to us about things like sharks and sea creatures and ships, and it's like, wow, where did you learn that? It's like,
and
I watched a video on it.
off of YouTube Shorts or TikTok Shorts or whatever. So there's other ways other than actual physical
there's the other
schoolwork.
side to the internet, what you see.
So we don't hold Zach back. What he wants to do, he does. If we want to go swimming, we'll suggest it and he'll go swimming. If we've been go-karting, we do things around him. So he might suggest something. He sometimes goes on Google Maps, looks around where we are and says, "There's this," so we'll go for a little walk to it. So he's included in the decisions we make.
The other thing is, we don't force him to come out with us on trips, do we?
No, sometimes we go on our own for a walk.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to go, and we say, well, that's fine. We're in a secure place, so we're happy for you to stay for an hour.
Yeah.
We never go off for hours and hours and hours on end and leave him in the van. It's only an hour most, isn't it?
It is.
But he's more than happy with that, because it gives him his own space, his own time, just to downtime, to chill.
It does.
And it gives us a bit of time, doesn't it, as well? Which it works both ways, that. But we'd never leave him unsecure, ever.
No. So another one we get asked quite a bit is money.
Yes.
And how do we make our money? How do we
afford our life, sort of thing, our lifestyle?
To do our life. So when we first decided to do this, it was a case of, we'll sell the house. We still had a mortgage on it, so we still had to pay some money back. We sold everything off what we got, so we got a bit of a lump savings. We'd already got a motorhome which was paid for. Obviously we've upgraded since then, so we used some of the savings to buy this. So provisionally, when we first left home, we were making about £20 a week out of YouTube.
It was peanuts.
It was £20 a week. I can actually show people what we were making. It was £20 a week. That has gone up considerably more than that.
Yeah. Gosh, it has.
So initially it was like, right, well, what we'll do is we'll use some of the savings. So we actually put some money away from selling all the rubbish out of the house, general bits and pieces. And we put that away, and we're like, right, we'll go on a big trip all the way around Scotland, do some bits, go back family for a bit. Then we'll head off, do some around the south, and then head to Spain. So that was like a holiday, and then the plan was to get
campsite
warden jobs this year. However, YouTube suddenly went up and up and up and
it
up.
went mad. It really did.
To the point where it's like one minimum wage we get, basically. It
does fluctuate month to month.
The money you get in December compared to January's revenue is half of what it is in December. That's how much it drops. So the fluctuation in the revenue does change, but it's only like a minimum wage job for one person. So we thought if we went onto a campsite, we wouldn't be able to video half as much, and that was another reason for saying that. Well, YouTube's going the nice way, so by doing a few reviews, we can sell the products. Which will pay for shopping, pay for a tank of diesel. The absolute diamond people out there that donate is unbelievable. No, we don't beg for donations.
Oh God, no.
We don't brag about it.
Never have, never will.
But the kindness that people show us is unreal.
It is, and it goes a heck of a long way to, funding what we do.
It enables us to do it. So while we're enjoying doing it, and you're enjoying watching us do it, so we were going to keep
at the minute
pushing to try and get better, to do more, to generate a little bit more revenue, because obviously as time goes on, this motorhome will depreciate in value. It'll start dropping to bits. At some stage, we'll have to look at upgrading it. And things don't come for free in life.
Oh, crikey, there.
So we're trying to push forward, but at the moment, YouTube, this last couple of months, has sustained us, and we don't have to touch our savings. So that's the way we want to try and keep it. But if we need to dip into it, like, for instance, the dog's ill and there's a lot of money spent at the vets, we've got that
the money is
there.
there for backup.
Or putting towards another motorhome later in life. But we'd like to start trying to get a little bit in front where we can start putting a bit more in the savings. So that is the plan, and that is, that's how we make our money. We've had a couple of people comment, what are you going to do when your money runs out? Well, that's our business, to be honest. That's something that's got nothing to do with, It's not just a case of we've sold us house and we're just going to travel around so that money's gone and then start claiming benefits or anything.
We don't.
No.
We haven't, and we won't ever claim anything benefit-wise, because we don't. That's not something we'll do.
We're actually going self-employed at the minute.
Yes.
We've actually registered today.
We've done it today, yes.
Because we'll have to prove that we don't earn enough to pay tax before long. So we have to go down that, and then we'll have to do a tax return.
But
which
obviously,
we'll do
it's an income. Yeah, it's an income we're living on, so we've got to register for it.
Because I did 6-7 weeks at work, so I've got like £800 that I've took off me, the tax man, which the tax man's not entitled to because I've not earned enough money. So I've got to do a tax return, so we have to register for self-assessment and all that lot, but which we didn't understand, but us friends have done that for us, but we'll explain that in tomorrow's video about them. So for us now, making money is
doing this.
I don't know what the word is. From YouTube.
Yes, is producing these YouTube vlogs.
Yes. Now we also get asked quite a bit about LPG, finding LPG. Now I would say 95% of people know there is an app out there, My LPG, where you can go on and you can find LPG stations near you. It tells you how much they cost.
It is a really good app.
It's very good, because when the last person uses it, if they go on the app and note that they've used it, or if it's out of order, it's out of order, maybe not go there. Unless you're going past, you can call in on the off chance it's back on order. So now a lot of people are worried because Morrison's are selling out the petrol stations.
They're phasing out it, aren't they?
And they're supposed to be getting rid of LPG. Now, I think it's fairly true what I can read into it, but there is dedicated LPG places out there, so there'll always be somewhere to get LPG. Now, the problem will be for a lot of people is as we find now, even with Morrison's with LPG, sometimes we look and we're like, they're in an LPG station for 50 miles. So if you're settled here and you're using LPG, you've got to drive 50 miles to get the LPG and then come back. Now, should you go there and it don't work, that's an even bigger problem.
Yeah, it is.
So I can see it becoming a slight problem. In Europe, LPG is near enough at every petrol station.
Yeah, there's no issues finding it over in Europe
everywhere.
At all.
It is like dog muck, especially in France. It is everywhere. So remember that one.
But the UK is becoming really quite hard to get hold of.
Yeah, there will always be places like Brownhill's a caravan place, them type places, which will have LPG in because they sell motorhomes with LPG on them. So there'll always be places, there'll just be fewer and far between. It's like when you go into Scotland, they're few and far between. So it'll be like that in England. So, I mean, where we base ourselves near Retford when we're not moving about, there's 2 at Doncaster, there's 3 within about 30 miles, so it's not too bad. But what you need to do really is, if, like us, we were using the heating on it, we fit the diesel heater, so the gas lasts a lot longer now. Battery banks, that kind of thing, try and cook. Obviously this weather, you're not getting solar, so...
I think the thing that we've sort of found that we do with the LPG now is when we come across a fuel station that's got it, we just top up, whether we need it or not.
Like, we are low, we're getting down now, but when I leave tomorrow, I know there's one down the road because Paul told me there's one down the road. But if I didn't know, I'd go on the LPG app. Whenever I'm driving around, if I'm like halfway down, I think, we're going past that LPG.
We'll call.
Whip in, top it up. So you try not to run so low.
Yeah, try not to just run it down too low and then think, God, I need it and I must get some, because that's when you get into difficulty.
You see, the other option is to have 2 bottles. Have one normal propane bottle with a normal pigtail, and then have one refillable, or have the safe fills then you haven't got to change any of the pipe work. And then you can have a safe fill and a cala, say, and then if you can't get it refilled, you can get a cala exchanged at most places. So that is a different way of approaching the gas front. We'll just keep the refillable on.
Yeah.
Unless it becomes a real problem, then I'll just switch to gas bottles. Try and cook on electric more, but obviously this time of year, solar's less. Yeah. So that's always
solar's like nil.
Yeah, I mean, we sometimes use the air fryer and the battery banks.
Yeah.
It's all right. We get another battery bank for you. People say, why don't you keep that other battery bank? And it's like, I can have 100 battery banks in the boot. When they're flat, they're flat. Yeah,
but the thing is as well with that, it's storage and it's weight you're carrying around, and it's you don't want it.
You don't want too much weight, and like I say, it's like putting extra batteries. Somebody said, why don't you put some more lithium batteries in? We struggle to charge up these in winter.
Yeah.
We've got 3 100 amp hours. We struggle to charge up all 3 of them sometimes. So we can do. So by adding more, it's just going to be more of a headache. But then we've got more usable power, so we might upgrade to bigger lithium eventually. If there's any companies out there want to send some, we'll try them out for you, won't we?
Yeah, why not?
So a few people have asked this one, but not too many, about paying for stuff in Europe.
Yes.
Now, we use the Revolut cards, and if you do a bit of research on the Revolut card, it's probably one of the best ones you can get.
It is. It costs you £5 to buy it.
£5 to buy the card.
Then there's no other charges.
You can get the app on your phone, and basically, you can... Oh, I can't itch your nose again. I tell you, I don't itch...
You're allergic to the camera.
It's the camera what does it. So, Revolut card. So you can go on your phone, and I can go onto the Revolut, add money from my bank to a GBP account. Then you can exchange the money for euros in there, and you normally get a good rate. Now, yesterday, not yesterday, but a couple of days, I exchanged some and got €117 for £1, which is really good. And I only exchanged, I think, 250 Great British pounds, so it wasn't a huge amount. Sometimes the more you transfer, the
better rate you get,
rate. But you can use Revolut anyway. You can also put it on your iPhone. I've got it on, so double click.
The banking app,
Swipe the bank card down and put the Revolut card to the top, and I can pay with that. You can use the card. You can use it on all the toll booths. You can use it everywhere.
We also have a backup. I do think you do need a backup card when you're, especially if you're spending quite a long time in Europe as well, because we only came across one toll, didn't we? And it would not accept the Revolut card. So it kept saying no. So it's like, oh God, right. But with the bank account that we upgraded to,
I've got the nationwide Flex Plus.
Yeah.
And you pay £13 a month for that. And if you've got a smaller motorhome, it gives you European breakdown cover, it gives you mobile phone damage cover, it gives you
travel insurance.
Gives you quite a bit for £13 a month.
Yeah.
So we've got that, and it enables you to use your bank card in other countries.
With no charge.
Not all countries, I think it's European countries.
Yeah.
So that is a very, very, very good thing to have as well as the Revolut card. But the Revolut card, and it's not just us that use it. We know a lot of people that use
there's no end of people that are getting on board with the Revolut card.
You can do a split bill thing as well. If you all go out for a big meal and it's loads of you can split bill on the Revolut card. It's absolutely brilliant.
It's really clever how it works.
I would recommend a Revolut card to everybody who goes to Europe.
Yeah, but I do think if you're going into Europe, always keep a bit of cash handy. Always.
Cash is always king.
Definitely is, because such as for instance in the toll booth when we were, when it said to the Revolut card, you could have put coins in, but we didn't have any. It was with
the Revolut card, it only didn't work once.
It was just once
on a toll booth, and that was it. And it was, I could have probably got it to work, but it was a bit like, there's cars piling in.
It gets you into panic mode because you can see everybody piling up, and you're thinking, oh my God,
looking out window like, what's he doing?
Yeah, it's like, quick, get you the card.
English, get out the way. Hurry up. They don't know how to use the machine. But so Revolut card is
it's brilliant.
Invaluable.
It is.
Invaluable.
Yes.
Invaluable, there's a word for you. I nearly couldn't get it out.
I know.
Another question we get: how old is Boo?
Oh, he's ancient.
Boo is 11.
He's 11. Yeah, who, me?
Boo's 11, and now we've had Boo since he was 6 weeks.
6 weeks old. We got him slightly earlier than we should have done.
Yes.
Due to circumstances, but...
Yes, so Boo has been around for all these years.
I know. But I think, don't you times a dog's year by 7 to get the human age?
Yeah, Boo's 50 odd at the minute.
Yeah.
I worked it out, I think he was 50.
Right.
I'm not that old, Dad.
You're going grey, aren't you, buddy?
Every time we say Boo, he's like...
Yeah. Huh?
So yes, Boo is 11. Boo
Yeah.
is a Shih Tzu with something else in there.
Yeah, we bought him as a pedigree Shih Tzu, who turned out to be like a backyard breeder that were full of lies. But in hindsight, it didn't matter to us because we wanted a lovable family dog, and that is exactly what we got.
And he is the most laid-back dog you would
He's that
ever
laid back,
meet
he's fast asleep.
in your entire life.
Yeah.
He doesn't get excited too much. He won't try and hump
Only
you.
when he gets on the bee.
He won't lick.
That I'm not going to say.
He won't lick your face. He will not
Never
lick
licked
your
anyone.
face.
Never licked anyone.
He's just the
you couldn't ask for any more.
He's the perfect dog. Whatever happened to him, we could never replace him.
No.
Ever.
No.
Could we? I'm not replacing you, are you, Dad? No. Never. Never, Boo, because you could never have another Boo.
Oh God, no. There's
You
never be a second.
you only
Boo.
ever get one of them type of dogs, and he's just that type of dog, isn't he?
Yeah, he certainly is.
We think he loves van life.
Yeah.
Because he likes being around us
Yeah.
as people.
He does. He likes being close to us.
likes
And if you
company.
leave, he sits there and whines and waits for you.
He does.
He's got used to us being around him. When obviously we lived in the house, we went out to work, we came back from work.
He'd got that routine.
He'd got a
knew
bit of a
what was
routine,
what.
but his routine now is we're round him. When we go out, we take him out.
Yes.
Which is nice because he likes
Yeah.
it.
He loves. Well, you've seen him all. Sat in his pushchair like Lord Mighty. He loves
Or on his
it.
beaches.
Or, yes. I didn't say the word.
People can see it in the videos.
Yeah.
You know what his love is for the beach.
Oh God, yeah. It's his favourite place in the whole wide world.
It is. We like the beach, to be fair.
Yeah, we love the beach.
People are naturally drawn towards water, so that's why a lot of people go on holidays to like the lake districts, to the lakes, and the scenery, obviously, to the seaside, because people are drawn towards water.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, and whenever we choose places to go, I'm always looking where there's a canal or is there this. If it's just there's nothing around it with water in it, I don't feel like I want to go there. And because we're naturally drawn towards water, and I don't know if that stems back from medieval times. I bet it does, I bet
Probably. Are you a Viking in another life?
No, it's like the Neanderthal era, I'm thinking.
Oh, right,
I bet it must stem back that far, where, people, because you needed water to survive, so what they will have done is they'll move from one water source to another water source, and I wonder if that's where it stems back from. And I've only just thought about that in my head. I've never thought of it before in my life, but I've just suddenly thought to myself, I bet it's like the Neanderthal side of you being drawn towards water as a survival thing.
I don't know, but
I could be talking rubbish, obviously. Somebody could probably agree with me in the comments and say, actually, that's
a valid point. Yeah.
But I think that's probably why a vast majority of people are drawn towards water.
Yeah, and I think with Boo as well, when he was first poorly last month, people said, "Oh, it's your own fault for not having him insured. It's don't moan about the bill. You have to foot it. It's your own fault."
We're not moaning.
We're not moaning, and there's a reason Boo's not insured. When he was coming up 3 years old, his liver gave up on him. So he had a fully reconstructed liver done, which maxed out the insurance. Long story short, 18 months later, he relapsed again, maxed out the insurance. The insurance went then like that. And up to about 2 years ago, he was still insured.
Yeah.
But it got to over £180 per month for him. And it got
Just
beyond
too much.
affordable. We physically couldn't afford it anymore. So Boo does have a little bit of a contingency fund, although we don't have the insurance.
Yes.
So we do have a little bit of money to spend on him should we need it.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, quite a few people on our channel are all dog lovers.
Oh God, yeah.
And if your dog needed an operation for £5,000,
you'd sell your right arm to fund it,
and
wouldn't
you've got
you?
£100 in the bank, you would make it happen
Oh God,
somehow.
yeah. You would find that money somehow.
Everybody would, try and help you, because that's what you do for your animals.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Because they love.
Yeah.
Sat there licking his nuts. Well,
he would if he had them.
where his nuts exactly
Yeah.
was. And why is my nose itching? I've only just put I get a right good itch before I put the camera on.
We've just had to let the camera cool down, so I said, right, I'll take the dog out for a quick pee break, so I'm wet through.
So I've itched myself up, and then it's like, I don't know what it is.
Oh dear.
I really, really don't know what it is. Now, if there's anybody got any other questions that we're not answered, we can do another Q&A.
Yeah.
I'm sure we've probably missed tons. We sat there and we thought, right, we'll write down the most popular ones. We wrote one and we're like,
Well, when we were sat chatting last night, I thought of I said, we'll add that into the Q&A. Can I remember what it is?
It was something to do with power banks.
It was, I think, yeah.
Yeah, we do get a few questions from you guys regarding power banks. Now, I'm not a power bank expert, but a lot of people say, you know, I want a power bank to run me telly, me this, me that, me
My phones, my iPad.
So the simplest way I can probably explain it to you is, when you're looking at a power bank, look at the watt hours it's rated for. So say, for instance, you want to run a hairdryer and it's 500 watts. So you look at a power bank and it's rated at 1000 watts. That will run a 500 watt hairdryer easily. But you need to look at the watt hours. Now, some of the big power banks have only got small watt hours, say 300 watt hours. So what that equivalates to is a 500 watt hairdryer would not last for 1 hour switched on continuously. Now, if it was a 500 watt hour battery bank, a 500 watt hairdryer on a 500 watt hour battery bank will last 1 hour switched on.
Boggles my mind.
So if you look at the watt hours you're going to be using, so say for instance you're going to be charging a couple of phones, I think some of ours charge at about 6 watts, some are charged at 8 watts, and things like that, and you can calculate at the most we're going to be pulling 100 watts an hour. The bigger the watt hour battery bank you can find, the longer it will last you. So the watt hours is basically, so if it says it's 768 watt hours, some have got really weird numbers for some reason. They're not at 500,
they're not rounded
they're
numbers.
not 1000, they're at weird numbers. I've seen them at 768. That means basically you can pull 768 watt hours out of that for 1 hour. But that 1 hour will vary slightly, but roughly speaking that's what you'll get. So if you, but generally, like an air fryer, we've got the 900 watt air fryer, we use it on the 1000 watt Bluetti, for instance. Now it's not continuously pulling 900 because it'll warm up, get to a temperature, start going above, and then it'll cut the heating off, but the fan will keep going, so it'll use say 40 watts. So it's not using it continuously, so you will find the times vary slightly. So for me to recommend a battery bank for you, sometimes it's a very difficult, we aren't knowing exactly what
Because you have had a few people, haven't you, just lately, asking for recommendations.
I can tell you, you can plug a microwave into it, it'll cook your tea, but it might only cook it twice.
Yeah.
And you might want to cook it 50 times. So it's sometimes, if you're a weekend warrior, it's a bit easier because you can charge it up at home, check it out. It's different for us.
We can't lug it into McDonald's and plug it in under the table.
No, we have thought about it.
We have thought about it though.
Definitely. Yeah, so with battery banks, it's a difficult one. Look at how many watts you're going to be physically using. Some people say it uses 2 amps. Well, the amp, you can work it out for the amps to the watts, but it depends on the voltage as well. So if it's a 110 volt item, a 12 volt item, or a 240 volt item, and they're all using 2 amps, the wattage increases dramatically depending on the voltage inputted. So,
bless you.
I think we should call
sneezing and itching, goodness me.
Sneezing, itching.
Honestly.
And yeah, I must be allergic to you.
I'll move away then, shall I?
Yeah, that's a good idea. So yeah, any more questions, don't forget to drop them down below, and we shall try.
We can log them for another Q&A, maybe in like a fortnight's time.
Yeah,
or
we want to try
like
and do a few more Q&As
because of the amount of things we get asked, and we get asked them repeatedly. Yeah. And we feel like we're repeating ourselves all the time on the answers. I feel
there's probably questions that I've not answered a lot.
Oh, there's going to be a few. There's going to be a few. But I think we've got to write them down now.
While the weather's crap like this, and we've been sorting out the
self-employment.
For tax,
which is a massive relief to get done. And I sat with Amy at the computer, and yes, I understood most of it, and I understood what she's done and what I have to do. Yeah. But I think it's like, it's one of them things where you have to learn as you go along. But obviously, Paul and Amy are adorable, and they'll help us. If we needed to know something, we'd just pick up the phone and they'd be there to help us, wouldn't they?
Well, hopefully they would.
Well, I hope so.
I hope we've
not frightened them off too much.
Get rid of them buggers.
Yeah, for God's sake, I've had enough. They're gone.
But yes, any questions, don't forget to drop them down below. And want to thank each and every one of you as usual for watching. And hopefully we'll see you in the next one.
I'd hope so. Come on, tune into the next one, please.